make an art project. Okay, this is like you're going to make an art photograph, like it's going to be in a magazine. And I want you to use yourself to set up a semiotic environment where your intention is to influence people to think a certain way about you. Now, if you think about this, celebrities have teams of people to do that. What I'd like to do is do a little example for you. And I'd really like for you to play along with me. I know it's kind of strange. In our other classes, we've actually had people, as we take roll, pose. And as that person poses, people in chat use adjectives. And they use adjectives to describe what they see. So for part of your assignment, instead of doing that with other people, here's a quick attention check. I am going to pose and count for 20 or something like that. And I would like for you to pick up a piece of paper and a pen, and I would like you to write down associations you make based on what you see on your screen. I set up the screen intentionally, and so I'm trying to influence you to think about me a certain way besides a professor. It can be adjectives, you can be fragments. It's just how am I influencing you? So I'm going to start counting, and then you can go to the next part. Ready? Right? Seriously, do it. Okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now you have some impressions, correct? Now I'd like for you to write, as I sit here, I might do something, your impressions of the individual objects that you can see. And since I'm not the focus now and it's the environment, I'm going to kind of set it up so that you can look at the environment I've set up. Okay, and I'm going to do that for just a minute or two, and I would really, so what I want you to do is number 2 on your quiz that I'll put up, so you can get it score for this. It's just, I'd like for you to just write down associations. And how did I make you feel by just showing you, well, I got these in my garden. Another professor, Professor Pittman, a long time ago gave me a bulb. It was just one of them. And then I have so many in my yard, and these bright yellow marigolds, they don't smell so good, but they do great in my garden, keeping pests out. And yeah, this is bedding. I collect them from work I've done in museums before, and women would wear it like that, which I don't know, for some reason I love that look. It is often done with Turkish nomads, not just here, but actually as part of the veil. And so I like imagining the women wearing these on their ankles. These are a couple hundred years old. They were given to me by a kind collector who collected textiles. That's a story I wanted to tell you. And he collected textiles, and sometimes when he went traveling abroad, he would find things at the market, and we would trade work for the things at the market. And the way I got the job for this collector and many other museum collectors was, I was just out of school, and I had a degree in textiles. I mean, could not get a job, right? So I have to figure out what to do with it. I got interested in textiles because I was always good at art, but textiles was a female form of expression, and I got interested in how some tribal textiles are kind of a female language. So You know, who has a job in that? So I got dressed up in a way that somebody who knew something about that should look, and I printed up some business cards, and I went to a very fancy antique show and handed out my card that said Michelle Delano, wasn't that name at that time, but Michelle Delano, Textile Restoration and Conservation. Call my number. And pretended like I really could do that because I was pretty sure I could. And people started calling me up, and it turned out there were all these people with like really incredible hand-woven textiles from different cultures that had holes in them, and I could make them invisible, to the point where people didn't even want to share my name because they wanted to keep me for themselves. That's evolved into another business, but that's another story. But as part of this assignment, in that I saw myself as a textile restoration conservationist, and I put myself in a situation where other people who thought they could see me that way would, and became successful. So I want to use visual literacy, a little bit of creativity, Bloom's taxonomy, so that you get to apply it. And this assignment, see if you understand it now. You now have a computer screen that is kind of like a stage. And influencers, you don't know what's happening outside of this stage. And in theater, this, it's so hard for me to do it to you. This right here is called the fourth wall. It's like you're sitting in a room with me, and there are walls all around us, right? So you're the fourth wall. And I can control what kind of room you think you're in. There might be chaos outside. You have no idea. But I have influenced you during this session. So what I want to do is this. You will post a photograph where you create, within the boundaries of the monitor, a situation where you are an influencer. I want you to just play with this. And it's an art photograph, okay? And this photograph is meant to be posted somewhere like you're the influencer, whatever that is. Now, it does not have to be actually you, as in what I see every day. You can play around with this concept. I mean, if you're into cosplay, or you just really like Halloween, but it doesn't, the subject is not what's important. What I want you to do is, through semiotics, control the narrative of what people see about you. You are the subject, okay? You're the influencer. It's like a selfie, a self-portrait. So, but you have to consider every single square of this is part of your art photo. Okay, you will post it on the discussion board. You will reply to each other and to interpret it, so that project is, once you post it, you'll see what people thought of you. Much like I'm going to ask you to post what you thought of my presentation.